Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unlocking one of the absolute most fundamental and frankly fascinating divides in our entire biological makeup. We're talking about the two very distinct paths our cells can take, the germline and the soma. Because depending on exactly where a biological change lands, a single tiny alteration to our genetic instruction manual can either be just a strictly localized maintenance issue or a profound genetic legacy that literally echoes through our lineage for generations to come.
Which brings us to a massive, high-stakes question. Who really pays the price for a cellular mutation? Think about it. If a typo happens in your DNA, does it just end with you? Or does it fundamentally rewrite the future of your entire family line? These are the ultimate biological stakes we're talking about here. And solving this mystery by understanding exactly how our cells are compartmentalized, well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The body's cellular divide.
Right, so before we can really talk about the cascading consequences of biological typos and mutations, we absolutely need to understand the playing field. The first bucket we have is the soma. These are your everyday body cells. They are the strictly non-reproductive cells that build, shape, and maintain your physical form. So your skin, your muscles, your brain tissue, your bones, these are all somatic cells. They're the incredibly hard-working components keeping your current biological state running smoothly day in and day out. They are entirely, 100% focused on the present.
But then we have the second bucket, the germline. Now, unlike your everyday body cells, germline cells are highly specialized reproductive cells, specifically the egg and the sperm. Their job isn't to build or maintain you, not at all. Their sole, monumental purpose is to carry the biological blueprint forward. They are quite literally the architects of the future, holding the exact genetic codes necessary to spark an entirely new organism.
Moving on to Section 2, how our cells multiply.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer mechanical difference between them. These two distinct cell types don't just have vastly different job descriptions, they actually utilize completely different mechanical processes to multiply and divide. First, we have mitosis. This is the exclusive domain of the soma. Mitosis is essentially biological cloning. It's meant for growth, repair, and tissue maintenance. If you scrape your knee, your somatic cells use mitosis to copy themselves perfectly and patch you right up. But then we have meiosis. This process belongs strictly to the germline. Meiosis isn't about repairing the current body. It is a highly complex mathematical process designed specifically to produce gametes, those egg and sperm cells.
Now, both of these division processes, mitosis and meiosis, require copying massive, mind-boggling amounts of DNA. But what happens when the division process goes wrong? What if there's a biological typo, a mutation, introduced during all this frantic cellular copying? Well, the fallout depends entirely on which side of the cellular divide the mistake happens on.
Which brings us to Section 3, the legacy of mutations.
This is where we see the biological stakes reach a whole new level, because a mutation's impact is completely dictated by its cellular environment. Let's see how this builds when things happen in the germline. Step 1. A germline mutation occurs in the reproductive cells, the egg or the sperm. Step 2. Because this cell is the very seed of a new life, that mutation is passed on directly during fertilization. And step 3, and this is the absolute heavy hitter, it affects every single cell in the offspring of the next generation. Because that one single fertilized egg divides to become the entire baby, the genetic typo is baked into the very foundation of that new person. It becomes a permanent legacy.
Conversely, let's look at the somatic side. Somatic mutations occur in non-reproductive body cells, so the absolute crucial point here is that they are not passed on to offspring. No way. If a skin cell mutates, your children will not inherit that mutated skin cell. Instead, that mutation is strictly localized. It only affects the descendant cells, what biologists call the progeny, derived specifically from that original mutated cell within your own body. The buck absolutely stops with you.
Now, what's really interesting here is how locking this matrix into our visual memory reveals the stunning elegance of the entire system. Just think about how they compare side by side. The germline consists of reproductive egg and sperm cells. They divide via meiosis, and critically, a mutation here impacts every single cell of the next generation. Meanwhile, the soma consists of your everyday body cells. They divide via mitosis for localized growth and repair, and a mutation there affects only the progeny of that original cell within you. It is a brilliant biological mechanism, distinctly separating the maintenance of the present from the blueprint of the future.
So, I want to leave you with this final, profound thought to ponder.
Will a cellular mutation end with you, or become the blueprint for an entire generation? You know, understanding the stark difference between our somatic and germline cells reveals the awesome power and the incredible compartmentalization locked right inside our DNA. It is the literal difference between a passing biological glitch and the permanent reshaping of a human family tree. Thank you so much for diving into this explainer with me. Keep exploring the incredible world inside you, and I'll catch you next time.